Now, there is one certain thing about Meghan Markle, is that she is one individual that cannot take any form of criticism. We all saw what happened with the series with Love Meghan and the ratings disaster that it is, and we already know the ongoing issues between herself, Netflix CEO Greg Peters, the many executives and producers over there that are really trying to tame the entire backlash related to With Love Meghan Season 2, as they like to call it. In reality, it's nothing more than a Season 1 Part 2, but what's really interesting here has a lot more to do with what South Park Studios and Paramount are up to and what they recently did toward Meghan Markle. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about Trey Parker and Matt Stone is that we know that they have no boundaries when it comes to, of course, what they mock, what kind of material they use in South Park. We have Season 27 coming up by this July, along with the DEI special that they are planning to drop by this August as well, and they want to keep on going. But what's interesting about this has a lot more to do with what Trey Parker and Matt Stone recently did toward Meghan Markle. Let's actually get into the overall details about all of this. Now, interestingly enough, one thing about Meghan Markle is that we know that she gets easily offended over almost anything out there against her. We all saw how she reacted in the past when South Park mocked her and Harry. We all saw what happened there. But this is where it begins to get even worse, because we know that Paramount and South Park Studios, they want to double down. They really want to go all out this time in 2025, and they want to really expand South Park when it comes to their episodes for Season 27, as well as upcoming specials, including the DEI special. However, with the Meghan Markle drama over at Netflix only getting worse for the many executives and producers attempting to complete Season 2, one major development going on now involves more to do with Meghan's behavior after learning about new developments coming from both South Park Studios and Paramount, and their additional plans of mocking her not just in the planned DEI special for this August, but also for South Park Season 27, which drops this July. Already both Trey Parker and Matt Stone are doubling down to mock Meghan Markle, where she is planned, of course, to make two major appearances in South Park Season 27 ahead of the DEI special. And this is already reportedly putting Meghan Markle in a very emotional state as she learned this through her contacts over at Paramount, and is already planning to take some form of legal action against Paramount and South Park Studios. Now, Parker and Stone are already planning to create an entire mockery of the Netflix series With Love Meghan for Episode 3 of South Park Season 27, where storyboard concepts related to the episode unveil that it will feature Markle improperly cooking food for characters like Stan and the other adult South Park characters in this episode, where they eventually get sick from the food that Markle cooks in the episode. The episode features the adult characters vomiting everywhere, where they actually are on live television. The parody version of With Love Meghan this time in South Park features how Meghan Markle eventually gets a cooking show on live television and makes, of course, a mockery of herself, with her making, of course, the adult characters sick, stemming from her terrible recipes, essentially. Now, already Meghan Markle is reportedly furious over learning these new developments coming from South Park Studios and Paramount, and is planning to take some form of legal action. However, that will most likely work to no avail, since this all falls under parody. Now, both Trey Parker and Matt Stone are also in the works of creating a parody version of the Diddy List, and plan to have the parody version of Meghan Markle share an episode with P. Diddy in space, where they are now planning to insert a scene where they mock the Blue Origin spaceflight, where Markle goes to space and comes to contact with a cosmic space ray that turns her into Megzilla to crash back down on Earth. This is the general parody outline and the plan coming from both South Park Studios and Paramount that is already reportedly putting Meghan Markle in a very emotional state, to the point that she is now frantic that not only will South Park, of course, in this particular episode impact With Love Meghan Season 2, but also how it's going to put more attention on her in a negative way. Now guys, let me just stop here for one moment before I move on. The fact that Meghan Markle is trying to actually take some form of legal action against Paramount, against South Park Studios, all because they are doing a parody of her, and they are creating a parody of the show, that was a ratings disaster known as With Love Meghan. Instead, in this case, she has an actual cooking show on live television. She's cooking terrible recipes, getting the adult South Park characters, such as Stan, for an example, sick on live television. I think is going to be very hilarious. The fact that they're going the extra mile to go that way, I think really just goes to show you how they are stopping at nothing of mocking every single thing that happened so far in 2025 and also what happened at the tail end of 2024. We know that a lot of things have happened, of course, ever since, I would definitely go as far to say it is the summer of 2024. There's a lot of material that Parker and Stone can actually grab from to insert in season 27. And again, we know that Parker and Stone talked about season 27 and how it's going to mock a lot of things that happened most recently in 2025, both in pop culture and in the news and in the mainstream media, everywhere. Alright, so it's going to be one interesting season, I must say. Now again, we know that them going all out with P. Diddy as well, I think is another thing. It's another reason why I think they are going to obviously, knock it out of the park with this one, as to holding no boundaries there, really going all out on this one. Now, interestingly enough, she is already desperately attempting to gather a legal team to put a full stop to both South Park Studios and Paramount from making episode 3 for season 27 that features both Markle and the adult South Park characters getting sick from her food on live television as she cooks it. She is also trying to prevent the name Megzilla from taking off and hitting the mainstream media and social media before the episode airs. Now again, Megzilla is going to also appear in the DEI special. They want to kind of create that as a successor to Mecha Streisand from the earlier seasons when they mocked Barbara Streisand. You guys may recall all of that if you're a South Park fan. But this is where, I think it really hits a new level of success for Trey Parker and Matt Stone because they have so much to work with. And as you saw in the teaser trailer for the new season, you can see how they're mocking P. Diddy, you can see how they're mocking everything to do with what's been going on with the planes. I mean, these guys hold no boundaries. And sure, you're going to get people that will be offended over this season in particular, but we know that at the same exact time, they're going to go all out with Meghan Markle. And the fact that they are going all out on Meghan Markle, I think it speaks volumes. It goes to show you how embedded she was in the mainstream media, how many people were mocking the actual show with Love Meghan, and how they're doubling down on a season 2. I don't think it's helping at all one bit, because Netflix is only asking for themselves to get mocked again later down the road by Paramount. Now look, we know that Paramount is going to do, everything in their power to create a very successful season this time around, to really do something very, powerful for the fans, to do something very much entertaining for the fan base that's really going to resonate with South Park fans that have been asking for a new season for a very long time now, and new creative episodes, or should I say specials, such as the DEI special that's going to actually be treated as a sequel to the Pandaverse, right? So that's another thing to really look forward to as well. But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about everything that there is related to Trey Parker and Matt Stone mocking Meghan Markle and her reaction to all of that. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.